Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of the Notre Dame post-game show. And this time, it's not actually a post-game show that we're doing. We are going to be talking about the Fighting Irish's 2023 recruiting class and how it ended. It didn't really end how Irish fans wanted, as of course Peyton Bowen switched or flipped from Notre Dame to Oregon. And this was really surprising. Not surprising that he left the Irish, but surprising in the fact that he left the Irish for Oregon. Irish fans were always worried that Oklahoma Sooners would flip Peyton, but it was Oregon that did it. And it was, of course, Phil Knight, of course, has a lot of money, and he was able to entice Peyton to flip from the Irish to the Ducks. And, man, I was paranoid this whole time, but I never thought it would be the Ducks. You see, at many of the Denton Guyer, which is the high school that's close to the Texas and Oklahoma border, they had fans there. Every time he would make a play, they would shout Boomer Sooner, try to get him to switch to Oklahoma. Of course, Brent Venables was at his school a lot because the quarterback of the school, Jackson Arnold, is committed to Oklahoma, so we got to spend a lot of time with Peyton Bowen and try to entice him to flip to the Sooners, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't get him to flip to the Sooners, and I heard that the Notre Dame staff was really confident that he was going to be at Notre Dame right after their last visit. And of course, they had a little call, and Payne said he was going to sign the letter of intent to the Irish last night. But of course, I guess he had a last minute change of heart and went with Oregon as he put on the Notre Dame hat and then switched it to the Oregon hat, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart. And surprisingly, the Oklahoma hat wasn't even there. It wasn't even on the table as an option. So really surprising that the Sooners weren't named. And I was a little surprised. Well, I wasn't surprised because I was hearing that the staff was confident, but I don't know, man. Recruiting's a crazy place. I've never been this invested into recruiting because under Kelly, our recruiting wasn't quite to the level it is now. With us, of course, having Keon Keeley, having Peyton Bowen. What's up, Ballard? How's it going, buddy? I'm sure you're really happy with how the Tide did, of course. Flipping Caden Proctor last night, breaking our friend Corey Brada, who hosts the Iowa show here in the Hawkeye of the Store, and breaking his heart, man. He broke his heart taking Caden Proctor. But back to the Irish. It was just, I don't know. It was just really a great year for Notre Dame recruiting. Even though we didn't grab everyone we wanted, we are now know that there's no player that Marcus Freeman and his staff won't go after. And we're going to look at the list of players that we have as I'm going to share my screen. And we got a good list of players. Of course, Charles Jagasaw. I wasn't surprised when we got Charles because of Harry Houston and just what he's been able to do. Like, he's been able to pump out guys like Ronnie Stanley and Zach Martin to the league. And Derek Bowen wasn't as surprising. Like, this might have been a guy that we've been able to land with Kelly as well because he's an Indiana guy. But guys with like Jeremiah Love and Christian Gray, I don't know if we could have gotten those guys, as well as the receiver, of course, the Texas contingent with Braylon James, Jaden Grayhouse, and Michael Bell. Like, we never really got into Texas under Kelly, but we knew as a good academic school that it was possible because Stanford did very well in Texas when they were having their run with Harbaugh and Shaw. So that it showed that getting high academic guys from Texas was possible, and Marcus Freeman was able to do it. Of course, we originally went after Dante Moore as our quarterback at Notre Dame, but Dante, like Peyton Bowen, also took Phil Knight's money. So we had to go after Kenny Minchie, who's not quite as highly touted, but he has a similar skill set to Dante. So I think Kenny, if he gets time, because I'm not sure he's going to maybe not get that much time in South Bend because he's going to be competing with CJ Carr. But I'm still really excited to see him. I hope he gets some time next year. I'm not sure he will with the quarterback situation, but it'll be really exciting. So, yeah, just really exciting time for Notre Dame. As also another guy that we got, Brandon Hillman. I'll bring up my screen. He's another guy that a lot of schools weren't looking at, which surprised me. But this guy, I'm really excited just because of how great of an athlete he is. As you see, his offer list wasn't really like Kentucky obviously had a shot at him too. But he's really going to be our Miles Jack, like our do it all sort of player. I feel like he'll get a lot. He's like the most slept on player in my opinion. He got up to 180, but he was really low when Notre Dame started looking at him. But just as soon as scouts started looking at this guy, they propped him up to 180, and I think he might have been a 5-star player if he would have gone to a bigger name school. Because Churchland, even in the Tidewater area, isn't like a huge name. Isn't a huge name school. And another reason that I'm excited is that we got more speed on our team. Like Notre Dame always has like big, tough linemen, but our wide receivers have never really been like burners, and or even other skill players. But we have guys that have like 4.5, 4.4 speed. Michael Bell's the fastest guy on the team. He didn't go to a big name school in Texas, so his offer list isn't like. Obviously, we got Arkansas and Baylor who seemed to grab guys from Texas, but not the big name guys. But Micah Bell kind of slipped through the cracks of like Texas and Oklahoma and A&M just because he didn't go to a big name school. But Notre Dame was able to get him early and got him to commit. So really excited to see him. He's going to be able to. I don't feel like we'll have that many wide receivers to just go deep and take to the house because even if they do get beat, Micah Bell will be able to chase him down and hopefully the defense could pin him to a field goal. But I'm curious what you guys have to say about the Irish here. Feel free to leave a comment because this show, if it's just going to be me talking, it might not be quite as interesting. I'm listening to see what you guys have to say. Although, we can take a look at some film as well. And so Irish fans are just so excited about Jeremiah Love out of St. Louis. They really do think that he'll be our Reggie Bush. So we can take a look at some of his carries here, as he's just so shifty, so fast. And he's also going to be catching a lot of balls, like a lot of screen passes. He's not going to just be a runner. Although, yeah, you can see just him being shifty, getting away from those tackles. Of course, they ended up getting him down there. You can see him just plowing forward. Not one guy can't get him down. So there's a little. Hope he wasn't hurt there. Yeah, I get to see how he just shrugs those tackles off. I'm really excited to see him in South Bend. People say he's going to be our Reggie Bush. I don't know about that. I don't like comparing guys, but just so excited to see him in South Bend. I was too Papa B. A lot of people want Mike Bray gone. A lot of people want him gone out of South Bend. Even last year. So, let's see. But, I mean, the team did make the tournament last year, and they are bringing a lot of the guys back, so they should get it together. But no tournament this year, and the pressure is going to be on Jack Swarbrick to see if he'll fire Mike Bray. But, I mean, he seems like a great guy, but I do feel like the recruiting could be a bit better. Like, we usually get, like, one good 4 or 5-star guy to come to South Bend a year, but I do think it should be more, and not just the same guys over and over again. But, yeah, really interesting that. Yeah. I mean, Mike White's doing a great job at Georgia, but Notre Dame should not be losing to Georgia. And also, I felt like we kind of got blown out. We didn't get blown out by Marquette in basketball, but the game was never close. I was watching it with my friend Sworgy Stories. We were doing a live watch along. And the Irish just it never really looked like the Irish were going to take the lead in that game. It always looked like that Marquette was kind of just going to cruise. So some very disappointing results. Obviously, the Michigan State win was big, but since then, the Irish just haven't looked the same in basketball this year. Yeah, he was a good hire for Georgia. It was interesting to see that he left Florida, but maybe he can turn Georgia around. Georgia might be a little easier to recruit to just because of how big basketball is in that state. Edward, my friend Edward, the Clemson fan. Phil, I could use some of Phil's money right now. I'm a college student. I'm not the most wealthy person. I wish I could get some of it, Edward. I wish, but unfortunately, he's only giving athletes money. So, yeah. So Drake Bowen got the High School Butkus Award for Linebacker of the Year. He's a local guy. He's from Indiana. And we're going to take a look at his film. This guy hits hard. Just so excited to see him. He just goes after people with no regard. Mm. Yeah. There's film here. As he just he's so quick at getting to that quarterback. Really excited to see him just lay out Caleb Williams. That would be fun. He's also very fast. You can see just chasing down that quarterback. I don't know why the brightness goes down. Ooh. Nice forcing the interception there. Don't know what that quarterback was thinking there, but you can show that he can take those interceptions back pretty far. Another interception. That was more of a better play than the last one, but he can take him back, man. He has some speed to him. As Marcus Freeman made sure that there would be speed in this class. That was one of the big ideas that he had when recruiting the 2023 class. Ooh, that was a nice tackle of a guy that was trying to stiff arm him. I'm surprised he wasn't ranked higher. I guess they did the award by more by potential, but like Drake Bowen was named the best linebacker in the country. So obviously he was one of the higher rated prospects that the Irish had, but I'm surprised that he wasn't ranked higher. He was, of course, Mr. Football Indiana as well. And also was a big-time recruiter for the Irish, going to all the home games, trying to get all the players to commit to South Bend in South Bend. He's just dominating this level of football that he's at. He's just so good at just overpowering the running backs and getting them down because, as you can see, as we said with Jeremiah Love, it can be tough to take those backs down. He does have to be a little worried about targeting, though, and roughing the passer, Drake. Just because he's so aggressive. But he's just so good at just going straight to where the ball is and taking down the quarterback and the running back or receiver. He really lays it down on these guys. He really makes them think about it. Think about, do I really want to catch the ball again? Do I want to get the ball again? Because I'm going to get hammered by Drake Bowen. Ooh, nice forcing a fumble there. It's gonna be interesting to see how many of these guys start, because really the only freshman that got like consistent playing time was Ben Morrison, and he started at corner. So I'm just excited. Jaden Mickey also got some playing time, but Ben Morrison was the only one that like played almost every snap of every game as a freshman. So it'll be interesting to see like if Drake starts, if Jeremiah starts, Jeremiah Love starts, Christian Gray. But we can look at Christian Gray's tape soon as well. Mm-hmm. Ooh, nice. Mm-hmm. But I do think that Drake probably will start. I mean, we do have a lot of young linebackers that are freshmen and sophomores, but the linebacker play this year left a lot to be desired, and that was probably the reason why we lost the USC game like we did, because our linebackers just looked terrible the whole game. It's a nice pick. Oh, I cannot take that sack if you're the quarterback there. All right, and that is Drake Bowen's tape. Yep, I'm hosting the show. All right. Recruiting worked out pretty well. Sorry, I was just looking at the tape, but recruiting did work out pretty well, although we did lose our top guy, Peyton Bowen, and that was really disappointing. But overall, it was a good day for South Bend, as we did get some really good, fast, athletic guys that should help out the team and hopefully get us to the level of the Ohio States, the Alabamas, and the Georgias. These guys are going to be the base setters. Obviously, this is probably going to be the worst class that Coach Freeman will have as a coach. I think they're going to get better every year as the team improves. Obviously, the team only went 8-4 this year. So, yeah. Travis Hunter, oh my gosh, this guy's such a clout chaser, man. Like, I don't know. Like, when I watched Travis Hunter play in the HBCU National Championship, he just wasn't a very likable guy. Like, I don't know, like on the field. Like, I just didn't like the way that he like played. Just tell people he's going to Colorado. We have to face the mighty Marshall this year. Oh boy. Well, I think we would take it to the Thundering Herd if we had to play them again. I would say probably C plus if I had to grade the team this year, because obviously we lost. People thought we would probably lose 2 out of the 3 games from Ohio State, Clemson, and USC, and we did lose 2 of them. So that would make it a B. But obviously the disappointing losses to Marshall and Stanford, it has to go there. It has to go down a bit. So I would say probably C. What's up, Sorgy? How's it going, Anthony and Jay? If Jay's there as well, friend of the show. Obviously, Jay did a couple weeks ago did a great thing on Luke Fickell heading to Wisconsin. So if you want any questions about that, just tweet at Jay. 9 ain't bad. Well, we were at 1 for a while, so going all the way down to 9, I know it's considering everything, but going down to 9 is still a little disappointing. But the grade of the class overall is higher than almost every Brian Kelly class. Besides, I'm pretty sure the class of 2013 was the only one that was better than this under Kelly. I could be wrong. I can double check that. Just Anthony Pops working. Oh, Anthony, what's your hoagie? Which hoagie are you eating? Are you going Italian? I gotta know which one. Which hoagie are you eating, Anthony? I gotta know. Yeah. I mean, the Clemson win, because the whole class was at that Clemson game. The whole 2023, 2024, and guys that are looking at the class in 2025, and even a few 2026 guys were at the game, really helped that. Just the app, because I went to that game, the atmosphere of that game really helped keep it together. Because like the atmosphere of the game was just crazy. Everyone was standing the whole time, the whole game. Like all the fans were. It was extremely loud. The pom poms were. Oh gosh, I'm curious if the Irish would even accept Peyton back. Like, would they bring? I don't know. Like, would Coach Freeman bring him back? Oh my gosh, this has just become a whole circus of a recruitment for Peyton Bowen. It's just not a good look for him, man. Like, do NIL companies really want to associate with the person that's doing this recruiting like this? Like, I don't like attacking the player at all, but in this situation, I do feel like he deserves a bit of a hard time for what's going on. So, yeah, that's crazy that he hasn't signed his letter of intent yet. Oh, brother. Everyone was giving hate, but when Oregon starts throwing on it. Listen, man, I don't like it either. But the thing is, though, I don't know why. I think people just like to laugh at Miami and A&M because they've had more success in the past, like Miami winning the 5 national championships, and A&M having success in the 80s, winning those Cotton Bowls, and even winning a couple big Southwest or Big 12 titles in the 90s as well. But I think it's because Oregon's like a new blood in that they're the Nike team. They're so cool. I think that's why everyone's going quiet for Oregon. But yeah, I don't know. That's probably why. Clemson was soft this year. I mean, I guess I think it was more the coaching that was bad, especially with Brandon Streeter. But you can make the argument that they were soft because they did look soft. Their line play did look soft against Notre Dame for sure. Joey says that any Power 5 team that loses to a group of 5 could fold up and not. During that show's class, so I give Notre Dame and Kansas State an A. That's a good point. That's true. That's also fair. I mean, credit to Oregon this year for doing as well as they did with the NIL, because Dan Lanning he's building the culture at Oregon to win and make a ton of money instead of just make money and not really care like Jimbo is. So I think Dan Lanning's doing a great job with with all the talent that he's got. I mean, I know going 9-3 was a bit of a disappointing year for the Ducks because obviously the Ducks every year they expect to win the Pac-12 every year. At least that's what I get from most Oregon fans. But this year they didn't do that. Of course, they had 2 losses in the conference, so they couldn't make it to the conference championship game like Utah did. But yeah, but even so, like making the culture of the guys like all playing for the team and not just playing for themselves in their pockets, I think Dan Lanning's doing a pretty impressive job. I mean, yeah, that's true. I don't know. For some reason, like Oregon just seems like a more likable team. Like maybe it's because of the duck and everything, but Miami and A&M are just easier to hate on. I don't know why, but I just think they are easier to hate on for most college football teams. It's an interesting point, though. It's like a Christian Gray's tape. I think it's fun to look at these highlights, but I'll try to pay attention to the chat as well. It's just hard to do both. Here we go. I want to bring the chat up on my phone so I can look at the chat and the tape. Because I understand why you guys like that. Here we go. I'm going to share the screen. Ham, provolone, oregano, Parmesan, garlic, aioli. I usually go for the chicken Caesar wrap, but Mama Sorgi said that 2 Wawa stores near us didn't have them. Well, I really like, that sounds really good, Sorgi, but, I'm sure the chicken Caesar wrap's good, but I don't know, man. I'm a fan of the, of that so that you got. But I do like because this one restaurant by me has a chicken Caesar wrap with fried chicken, and that's really good. Yeah, John, I guess so. But if you go to Pac-12 chat rooms, I don't know, like Eric, if you've met Eric is pretty loud when it comes to the Ducks. But I guess there's just not as many of them because they haven't been successful for so long. I think that's why. Most Miami fans thought they were going to waltz into the playoff this year. Well, I think most Miami fans and most college football fans thought they would at least reach the ACC championship. I'm sure there are some dumb Miami fans that thought that they were going to waltz into the playoffs, but I think most thought they would at least win the Coastal, and they didn't even come close to doing that. As Mark said, they were the joke of college football this year, as they didn't even make it to a bowl game. Oregon fans, yeah. But the thing is, though, like, I don't like when fans go quiet that talk a lot of smack. And Tennessee fans, man, they were talking so much smack before the Georgia and the South Carolina games, and they shut up. And didn't even go to other chats. Yeah. I think it's fair. I think you made a good point, Edward. I mean, I don't like how they do NIL, especially when it hurts my team. So, yeah. Tennessee and Kentucky fans, I guess Papa B doesn't like either of those two fan bases. I don't know any other Kentucky fans besides Darrell, though. Darrell's the only Kentucky fan I really know. Yeah. Swargy, I would love to go out to Philly soon, man. I'm sure definitely over the summer, I'll probably be able to make it out there. I would love to see the Palestra as well. That would be fun. We could go to a Nats Phillies game, as I'm a huge Nats fan. Even though we're terrible this year. Will you tell me a blonde joke? Well, I don't want to get canceled, so I'm kind of afraid to tell a blonde joke. Well, good tackle there. Yeah, that's what I love about this class, though. Like, these guys all have speed. I don't know. Tim, I'm just afraid of I don't want to get Mark in trouble, so I'm afraid of telling a blonde joke. I'm afraid. Oregon fans got put on a milk cart and then showed back up for National Signing Day. Yeah. I mean, it's a good signing day for them. They're allowed to be happy. I just wish that they didn't just use... I know. John had 2 bills on the UGA money line for the Tennessee UGA game. Most people don't remember that Heupel used to be the offensive coordinator in Mizzou, and Kirby and Muschamp each have 2 games experience against Heupel. That's true. No, I was afraid that Mark would get canceled, John. I was afraid that Mark would. I don't want to get Mark canceled because I'm on his channel. Although Mark's a little unfiltered on Twitter, so I guess it's okay. Okay. Mark. Correa did flip the Mets. That was crazy. I don't think anyone expected that. Even the most deluded Mets fan. Oh, we're seeing some offensive highlights now. Maybe he'll play both. Oh, cameraman, you're killing me. I don't like some Ohio State fans. I won't say much bad about Minnesota fans because I have a good friend back in Wisconsin that loves the Golden Gophers. I mean, PJ Fleck's one of my favorite coaches. So I love. I'm kind of a bit of a Gopher fan. I gotta admit, Georgie. I guess you guys can tell blonde jokes. Since I don't know, I just hope it doesn't make Mark too mad. Ooh, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of guys that can take out kickoffs in our fast. Oh, almost scored. How do you cure a blonde heroin addict? I don't know. Give her a plastic spoon. Oh. Okay. Man, look at him. He's just coming out of there like a cannon. Christian Gray is. He's gonna be such a great corner. Like him, Ben Morrison, Cam are gonna be just dogs. And especially in 2024, when Ben is a junior and Christian is a sophomore. Well, squib. Or I guess it's just a short kickoff. I'm just used to seeing them go all the way down to by the goal line. What's going on here? What's this play? Oh, it's a punt. I'm dumb for that. It's gonna let it go. I'm gonna pick it up. Yeah. I don't think we've ever had a punt return for a touchdown in a long. I can't remember the last time we scored on a punt touchdown from a punt in Notre Dame. I remember Chris Tyree's kickoff return against Wisconsin in 2021. I went to the house. That was good. But it would be awesome if we could have one for Notre Dame soon. Ooh, nice cut back. Man, these defenders kind of look like they just give up. All right. Yeah, definitely excited to see all these guys in South Bend. Oh no. Got the ads. Block. All right. We blocked that suck spot. We need a quick returner for that, yeah. It just makes what Tim Brown did in 1987, getting two punt return touchdowns for touchdown. Even that more impressive, and why he won that Heisman Trophy really for just that one game. Obviously, that crazy catch against the Wolverines in Ann Arbor that helped his Heisman candidacy. But what really won it for Timmy Brown was those punt returns. Irish need a head coach. Well, I guess you really aren't a big Marcus Freeman fan, Mr. Irish 574. Who did you want instead of Coach Freeman? That's what I want to know, Mr. Irish 574. I'm curious. Like, did you think we could get Luke Fickell? I don't know, because I haven't talked to many Notre Dame fans that don't think that Marcus Freeman should be a coach. Blonde wear the shoes. It's because a lot of blonde girls don't wear shoes. I'm confused. But yeah, I really would like to hear like why you think that. I mean, Marcus Freeman did do a little learning on the job, but like with these the recruiting that he's doing, I feel like it's fine. So I'm really curious on why you think Notre Dame needs a new head coach. Thank you, Troy. I appreciate it. Where are the Luke Fickle was first choice? Are you sure about that? Because most of the stuff I heard was like they considered Luke Fickle, but at the end they chose Marcus Freeman. I think that I thought they turned Fickle down from everything that I've heard. Freeman's recruiting sucks, man. We are not getting like these type of athletes that we did not get these type of athletes with Kelly. I'm telling you, man. Like our recruiting would be much worse than it is now. I know we're only ranked 9th, but if you look at the composite score, it's much higher than almost all of Brian Kelly's classes. So I'm just curious on why you think his recruiting sucks. I know we finished 9th, but like the score is just so high. And a lot of the guys on the Kelly's highest rated classes weren't developed well, and I have really high confidence in the staff. The only guys I really don't have confidence in 100% are Golden developing linebackers, because the linebackers this year weren't great. And also Kelly had a 5-star every 2. Yeah, but we have like a more of a deeper class with all the 4 stars. Like I think our 4 stars now are a lot better than our 4 stars from a couple years ago. And also Kelly didn't have to deal with NIL at Notre Dame, which Freeman does. Like imagine Marcus Freeman without NIL. We probably would have signed Dante Moore and Keon Keeley for sure. You know, when Willingham was here, that is a take, my friend. That is a take. I mean, to be honest, I don't know. It's just interesting to hear someone hate on Marcus Freeman, but I like having different opinions on here. Where's listening to Freeman? I mean, when I listen to Marcus Freeman, I feel like I'm listening to a leader, but I guess that's not what you think. You're gonna have to sell your soul to recruit at Notre Dame? What do you mean by that, Tim? Sell your soul to recruit at Notre Dame? Yes, Orgy, the Mets do joke a lot. It's called netting. Well, it's because like we're going against Alabama and then Oregon's NIL. Like, I don't think it was his fault. What type of team will we have? Well, we'll be very good much better at the wide receivers and the corner. I feel like we'll be very good next year. And I know we're losing Michael Mayer and Isaiah Foskey, but I definitely feel like I'm going to look at the schedule again. Well, we did get Brennan Vernon from Ohio State. We beat him out for that. And we also beat Ohio State out for Rico Flores. And Brennan Vernon was a Buckeye. It's a Catholic. Okay, I guess you're not a fan of Catholicism, Tim, but that's your opinion. And as a Catholic, I'll disagree. Okay, I'm going to look at the schedule again. I know we're playing Ohio State and Clemson. And I feel like the Ohio State game is very winnable, especially if Marvin Harrison leaves, just because the Buckeyes are going to have so much turnover. So I feel like we can at least go. I feel like we'll at least go 10-2 because we're gonna. Yeah. So at worst, we should go 10-2. At worst. Look at the schedule, because the tough games are obviously Ohio State and USC, but they're both at home. Our toughest away game is at Clemson, of course. So we have 3 tough games. It's pretty similar to the schedule we had this year. We have 3 tough games, and we should win hopefully 1 or 2. Well, we beat Clemson, and Clemson was a top 4 team. Like, the only team that Kelly beat in the top 4 was Clemson as well. But Clemson was also lost Trevor Lawrence and some of their top defensive players. Urban, this is a tough question, Tim. Now, obviously, most Notre Dame fans would say Freeman, but Urban's also just such a great coach. But I'm a little worried about recruiting Notre Dame guys with Urban, with the whole Zach Smith situation. Obviously, if this was like 2004 Urban Meyer or Marcus Freeman, I would take Urban Meyer. But with like all the dirt on him now, I would actually take Marcus Freeman. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. Okay, well, we'll see. I mean, I feel like at worst we're gonna win one of those games, and I don't think we're gonna lose any stupid games. I don't think we're gonna lose any stupid games next year, but I think that Marcus Freeman learned from that this season, and that's what was a bit of a stepping stone. Like we had a worse season this year, and then because Kirby didn't have a great first season either, and then second season he went all the way to and should have won the national championship game. But with Coach Freeman, I feel like we'll at least go 10-2. I am being a little biased, but I feel like we'll at least win one of Clemson, USC, or Ohio State. And I'm saying most likely we'll beat Ohio State because they're going to have a lot of new pieces on their team, especially if they lose Marvin Harrison Jr. Then I'll be pretty confident that we'll beat the Buckeyes. USC is going to be tough. Clemson away is going to be tough. And I just don't feel like we're going to blow any stupid games. Yes, I do know that Urban coached under Lou. 0 receivers, no quarterback. Well, we're going to get a quarterback in the portal. That's going to be good. And I think Buckner will be much better. Never sees 10 wins. Okay, well, that's your opinion, Irish. I don't know. I think we do. Troy with the funny, who cares about Clemson? This team's that. Well, I don't think it'll give us a nightmare. I think that was a one-year thing. Under Coach Freeman. I really do. But, I mean, that's your opinion, Irish 574. I hope you come back. I hope you're still rooting for are you even rooting for Notre Dame? It feels like you're just so negative about everything. I hope you're still rooting for the Irish. And I think our receivers are going to be much better. I think our receivers were good. It was just that Drew Pine wasn't good. I feel like our receivers improved a lot under Coach Stuckey. And that we're going to have Merriweather, Styles, Colsey. Hopefully Styles plays better. I know I'm forgetting. Portal's going to suck. They're in the portal? Okay. Well, I mean, it's hard to start. I mean, I feel like Hudson Card's probably going to be the guy that we're going to get. And I feel like he's going to do much better with Notre Dame than we do. Our receivers suck. Well, have you looked at the tape of the guys we're going to bring in? I mean, I feel like a lot of the guys, I feel like Rico and Jaden Greathouse, I feel like are going to be great freshman year. And I think Deion Colsey is going to have a great year. So I disagree, in my opinion. But I'm happy that you're here. Listen, I have fun discussing Notre Dame with people. It's just that, I don't know, you're much more of a pessimist than I am. But I feel like Deion Colsey and Lorenzo Styles will have a good year next year. We only finished number 9, Michigan Man Jason, because we lost Peyton Bowen. But it was a good year. Yeah, I think he may win the Steve Ace Award, but listen, his dad was cool. I mean, he wasn't that good. He got overhyped. His dad got overhyped, but I think Ron Paulus is just a guy. I think he's just a good teammate. I don't feel like he's going to get any playing time at Notre Dame. Well, we had a big time game in Notre Dame Stadium, and we won a big time game in Notre Dame Stadium against Clemson. That was a big. I know Clemson didn't have a great year, and their coaching wasn't great, but I do feel like that was a big time win. No, he was he was 5-star on most websites. He was a 4-star on some, but he was a 5-star on most websites. Peyton Bowen was, including 24/7. So it does suck losing a 5-star to. That's not. I do agree with this take. I do think that he is taken. I mean, I feel like he probably should be booted. I think you're right. I'll agree with you. There's not a joke. I don't. Kelly's win is a joke, but in my opinion, I disagree. That I do not think that Freeman's win over when was a joke because yeah. Well, I would say Golden Tate and Manti Te'o are probably my favorites that I saw in real life. But watching Tim Brown and the Rocket and the Bus as well, those guys were just awesome. So the favorite in my lifetime is Manti Te'o just because I love him as a person so much and he's awesome. But watching Tim Brown and Rocket those guys were just so fun to watch. See Anthony, 4.5. Yeah, 4.5 star. Yeah, it sucks losing him. It does. Yeah, and a win is a win. I agree, but I mean, I know they weren't great this year, but I do. Well, there is my dad, and also my dad, and also YouTube as well. That's how I know about Joe Montana. Yeah. Well, D-Rock. Yeah, I know. I'm depressed about it too, D-Rock. But I'm gonna try to find this one comment. Where was that comment? It was up here a bit. D-Rock. Hope is not all lost. D-Rock. Hope is not all lost. Oregon is yet to receive a letter of intent from Peyton Bowen, and he hasn't decided yet officially. He could go back. There is hope. There is hope, D-Rock. There is hope. We might have lost that Carolina game as if it wasn't for the sketchy refs. I'll give you that. We might have lost that. I'm in college now, Walton. I'm at Virginia Commonwealth. Unfortunately, I'm not smart enough to get into Notre Dame. But yes, we might have lost that game to Cal too. But yeah, there is hope. There is hope in Peyton Bowen, although I really don't think we're going to get him. I cannot believe he did that to his family, man. Yeah. The bus from Detroit. Yeah, the bus was awesome. All right. I really hope the receivers take a big step forward this year. I know, I understand. You didn't come back and win, yeah. But this was a first season with Marcus Freeman. Like, those things are acceptable only this season. They were acceptable this season. But next year, if this keeps happening with Marcus Freeman, then Mikey, you quacking stink today. I'm sorry, but you guys quacking stink. You stole our player. You stole Peyton Bowen. Oh man, I'm not looking forward to talking with Eric. But yeah, you guys quacking stole our player. VCU, go Rams, go. If he doesn't go, I hope so. One Scoop John, you're the optimist for all of our teams. You're the optimist for everyone. You said that USC was going 11-1, and they went 11-1. You said we were going to go 11-1 next year. I hope we go 11-1 next year. And also, rip to Franco Harris, legend, Penn State legend. That's crazy that he did that. I knew there was like Irish Breakdown intel, and I was never gonna leak it. But that's crazy that he told me with Payne Bone and his mom, and he said he was committing to Notre Dame. That is crazy that he said that. Like, there's something up with Peyton Bowen, man. Maybe he needs a counselor. He has to put pen to paper, yeah. Well, I hope we make the playoff every year. But yeah, that would be. Oh my gosh, we have another bot. I have to block them. Block. Okay, there goes the bot. I'll block this bot too. Well, I think we can go 10-2 or 11-1. I really do. And there's a chance we can go 12-0. But there's also a chance we could lose another game that we aren't supposed to, go 9-3. But I think I hope we go 10-2 or 11-1. I'll be really happy with either of those. And obviously, I'll be thrilled with the 12-0 season. You thought that Texas would go 7 and they got 8? That's true. Well, I mean, 7-1 Sark's a meme, and we all wanted it. We all said, yeah, 7-1 Sark. We all kind of thought they would get 7 wins this year. I hope not, John, but you could be right. Honestly, you could be. It might not bear fruit until year 3. Yeah, year 3. I'm gonna wait until year 3, but I'm not gonna be happy if we. Yeah, progress any kind is what we need. Yeah, that's true. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. Like if I would be mad too if I was a parent and that happened. Man, this is drama. There's just so much drama going on. I'm definitely gonna I'll definitely go back and watch I've been busy all day, so I haven't really had time to watch Irish Breakdown. But man, juicy. Go 9-3. That's progress. Well, I don't want to lose all 3 big games. If we lose all 3 big games and go 9-3, I don't know if that's progress. But yeah, like, can you call that progress? I guess you could, because you did better than you did last year. Yeah. I'm definitely going to be. That USC game next year is going to be huge, though, man. If we can knock off the Trojans, especially if they're rolling, and I'm assuming they're going to be rolling next year because Caleb Williams is coming back. That would be so big. Doc is in his own feed. I don't know what that means. 10-2. Of course, you're going to pick us losing to Ohio State. Oh, D-Rock is in his own feed. Yeah. I feel like we can beat you guys just because every one you're losing. And I feel like USC is at, I don't know. I feel like we'll win one of the big home games this year. Oh, D-Rock has his own feed. Oh, wait, D-Rock, you're streaming? I didn't know you streamed. Another bot. Get out of here. Oh, my gosh. How did I become a Notre Dame fan? Well, my dad's a Notre Dame fan. So my dad went to this small Catholic school, Mount St. Mary's. And apparently they helped set up Notre Dame. So that's why everyone at that school roots for Notre Dame. Because that school is even older than Notre Dame is, Mount St. Mary's. So they helped set up Notre Dame. So my dad was always a Notre Dame fan. They went to Notre Dame games a lot. And I just rooted for all the teams my dad did. We could. That would be funny if we made the playoff at 8-4. You know how many angry people there would be if we made the playoff at 8-4? That's fair. I mean, I wouldn't. As a Buckeye fan, I would think you would beat us too. So 20-33 in Ann Arbor. Dang, I would be 32. I would be 32 the next time we play Michigan in Ann Arbor. We could play them in a playoff, though. I definitely think that's possible to play them in a playoff. Yeah. I know either. Go figure. Yeah. But yeah, that game in Ann Arbor, I'll be going to that for sure. I'm okay with it. I mean, if we join a conference, I would be a little bummed just because we lose some of that luster with Notre Dame. But I feel like if my speakers, my mic was being difficult. If we don't win in a game that would have been a bye, do we really deserve to win the national championship? I don't think so. So I'm okay with it. But yeah. Do we know, D-Rock, do you know if Jalen Lamar is definitely going to Oregon as well? I haven't seen anything on him. I want to look it up again to see if anything changed in the Jalen Lamar camp. Okay, he did flip. Okay, well, we expected him to flip. We weren't so sure about Peyton Bowen, but he did flip to Oregon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the boosters are going to make sure that Notre Dame does everything they can to not join a conference. The boosters do not want to join the conference. Absolutely do not want to join a conference. Well, the money helps, Michigan, man, Jason. The money helps. The money definitely helps. So, yeah. But, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely going to... Who knows? I mean, there's so much resentment on the Notre Dame side to Michigan not wanting them in the Big Ten. I feel like it'll take a long time before that actually happens. It depends what our next TV deal is going to be. I'm kind of in favor of ending the TV deal with NBC because of how low quality some of the because of how low quality some of the broadcasts were been. Like I watched the 2012 Michigan game, and man, that quality was so much better than the one that we had today. We have 4-2 loss. Yep. Yeah, Notre Dame would not have a bye. That would be crazy. But you know, the boosters really want us to stay. The boosters really do not want us to be in a conference this year. They really do not want Notre Dame to be in a conference. We are part of the Big Ten in ice hockey, but we are part of the ACC with I think every other sport. There might be like a couple of non-revenue sports that we aren't in the ACC for. Yeah, it's all about the money and the U. Yep. As Traveling Fool says, Miami's going to go 160-0 or however. What's there going to be? It's all about the U. Fading brand. Well, I think having Coach Freeman in there definitely helps the brand. I definitely think the brand's doing a bit better because of Coach Freeman. And also the YouTube channel helps. And the NBC contract, of course, does not help as much. This is kind of Notre Dame's revenge by not joining the Big Ten. This is definitely Notre Dame getting revenge from Fielding Yost and Fritz Chrysler doing everything they could to make sure that Notre Dame didn't join the conference. This is Newt Rockney's revenge. This is definitely Newt's revenge. Newt Rockney and Frank Leahy definitely are enjoying themselves, looking at everything that's going on. I know didn't Bo say like to hell with Notre Dame? Wasn't that like one of his last words before he died? Yeah. Yeah, I do my best as someone that's a contributor on the Voice of College Football. I definitely do my best to know everything about Notre Dame that I can. I definitely try to do my best. Well, I think the Florida State show is going to go live. It is live. So I don't want to step on their toes too much. But yeah. Notre Dame was about to join the Big Ten. I think they're definitely considering it before the NBC deal. Definitely were considering it. Don Criqui sadly, I think Don Criqui quit a couple years ago. I think John Burmeister, I think that's his name. How long did he? 2017 was Don Criquy's last year, and then I think it was Paul Burmeister. Does it? Probably the Stanford win in 2012, if I had to say. I think that Stanford win really gave me the hope that we can actually, like, we finally beat, like, that was the year that was like, we finally beat Stanford. We can win a national championship. And we didn't win the national championship, unfortunately, but that was such a great win. What a great win that was. And maybe he got across the line for the touchdown, and maybe he didn't. But yeah, that was such a fun year. That was really what made me fall in love with college football. Obviously, I followed it a bit before then, but yeah. I think it's nauseous I think it makes it Jason nauseous just how good it is. So yeah. Well, guys, I think I streamed for an hour, and I don't want to step on the toes of the Florida State show because it already started. So go over to the Florida State show, everyone. Thank you so much, Gregory. I definitely have gotten better at doing it solo. So yeah. All right. Well, hopefully everyone has a great rest of their signing day, and that things happen for their teams, that things fall the way that they want to for their teams. So thanks for coming on, everyone, and have a great night.